Hello, my loves. I am so thrilled to be reading for you today. It is the 17th. It is an eclipse, and we have just entered in the year of the fire horse. Some of you might understand that this is kind of like a big deal. The timing of this eclipse with this zodiac new year, or I'm sorry, Chinese New Year is definitely powerful. There's a lot of energy, there's a lot of power here, and we as a collective are all about that. We love to use these portals, these high frequency, high vibrational periods of time to get intentional, to get directional, to make shit happen. And that's really what this underlying energy of Year of the Horse is really going to bring forth for us. So if you're new here, welcome. My name is Hannah, aka Bunni on the internet spaces. I'm a professional model. I am an empowerment through expression, life and mindset coach, and I'm also an artist, a multidimensional muse, and this is one of my mediums. I paint vivid pictures of your future with my tongue. How about that? What we do here, we read oracle cards, we feel into the energies. If you're here and you're listening, that means you're opening yourself up to receiving guidance based on our overall collective energy. You contribute to that. You are a part of that. The decisions you make, the things that you're thinking, the emotions you're vibrating out, all of you and your glory, you are a part of the collective, which means that your energy matters. You are a contribution to this collective. Whether we know each other face to face, hey girl, hey, or whether you are an internet stranger but a soul, what are those called? Kindred spirit, right? It doesn't matter, because we have this beautiful, wondrous world that we're living in that is made up of so many fascinating phenomenons, and I'm just so grateful to connect with you however we connect. We pull oracle cards. Sometimes we're reading into specific topics, sometimes we're feeling into the energy of portals. Like we had 1-1, that was big. We did 12-12, we did 11-11, we did 10-10, we did 9-9. Girl, we did them. And sorry, I'm just gonna girl a lot because that's just who I am. I am a fire sign. I am very much open through my throat space. I am very much a adventurous spirit, playful spirit. I like to keep it real, and I like to think that that is why you found your way here, because we don't spiritually bypass, we don't play pretend, it's not performative, we are who we are, real Kesha style. There was a quote that was coming to mind on my drive earlier, which was, God doesn't want people to act spiritual, God wants people to be spiritual. What does that mean? There is no template on how to be a spiritual person. And your definition of spiritual might be very different than somebody else's. Like for me, spiritually means I'm in tune, honey. I'm here. I'm present. I'm grateful. Those are some very high vibrational things to emit, and I worked hard to cultivate those things. I did not always have an attitude for gratitude. I struggled with depression because I did not know how to see things with this beautiful lens of gratitude, and know how to shift my perspective, and know how to work with my neurochemistry, and know how to regulate my nervous system and all the groovy things. I am trauma informed, so occasionally I will throw out some of my life coaching tidbits here and there. But this is a space for us to get woo-woo, honey. This is the space for us to get esoteric, to get mystical, to think about the grandiose what-ifs of life. And that is really what I'm feeling like pushed, and I mean pushed, to talk about. My card readings, if I'm being completely honest, I feel like the last 2 or 3, I was feeling the energy and I was pulling the cards, but I wasn't feeling the reading. Like the reading itself, like we were just really trying to collectively move through that last bit of the year of the snake. Raise your hand if the year of the snake was a divine shed for you, because it most certainly was for me. I shed identity. And it's funny because actually back last March, when I was really pulling a lot of cards, I was talking about like this ego death, this loss of identity, this shedding skins, and it was like, yeah, that was literally what we were diving headfirst into with Year of the Snake. Not only identities, but it was belief systems, ideas, thought patterns, environments, relationships. Raise your hand, friends, if you felt the Year of the Snake in your life in some way, somehow. For some of us, it might have been all of those areas, or it might have just been a specific area of focus that the divine was like, let's really just get down to the nitty-gritty. Let's shake off the excess. Let's get you back aligned with who you are and shed everything that you need to shed. And what's interesting to me about this is that we all have these different planetary influences in our life with a different birth chart. If you're not into astrology or even the year of the horse or any of those things, and you're just like, I just kind of want to know what the fuck I gotta do to make myself feel all right, that's okay too. But this idea is that we all are technically like our own individual thumbprint. We all have our own unique thumbprint that it can be almost like, if you look at your thumb, I invite you to, and you look at that little swirly bit and all of its lines and all of its little twirls and all these little depths to it, that's what your birth chart is. It is a map of who you are, and it's completely individualistic. It is so in depth that like I am still studying mine many, many, many years later. And then you have all these other things like what's going on with the moon and the eclipses and the cosmos and what the fuck is a Mercury retrograde. Don't worry about it. I got you. We're going to talk about these things as they're going down and as they are coming up. I do talk a lot about numerology. For some reason, I feel like new people are going to find this. Numerology is really how I feel like it's like coding of the universe. Like I feel like the divine often speaks to us in numbers because it's like so universal and easy to translate. You know, things don't get lost in translation. It's like very much, these are the codes, break it down, you know, do with it what you will. So we like to work with numerology here and just notice those subtle nuances in our lives and how they show up. I'm so grateful to be connecting with some really cool people who are very much in that same mindset. But remember, back to that quote, we are who we are. We don't necessarily wear like the cotton flowy harem pants and, you know, the beads around the neck. I used to have crystals, like decked out in crystals, and I still love my crystal healing around my space and all of that, but I now recognize that I am the spell, honey, okay? I am the conduit for which energy, like so much powerful creation, destruction, whatever I gotta tap into, it's right here. It's there for me. I don't really need to rely on other conduits. Not to knock crystals, because if y'all know me, I love me some crystals. I had a crystal online shop. I'm all about the woo-woo stuff. But what I love most of all is being in connection to the present moment, to who I am, and to my innate inner power and wisdom. That trumps everything for me as far as, you know, the correspondences of all of it, because that's still present. You know, I'm still present with the pine tree that I'm looking out at the distance, and recognize that that is symbolic of endurance, of strength, and that the smell of lavender is going to promote dreams. Like, I am the spell. You know what I'm saying? And you are the spell. So don't get hung up if you feel like, oh, I'm not doing witchcraft right, or I don't know how to like act like the what a spiritual person is in your eyes. Maybe a spiritual person is somebody who's very religious, somebody who does certain things, acts a certain way, behaves, speaks a certain way. But I want to bring us back to this idea that the divine is not looking for actors. The divine is not looking for performers. Not in this sense. Because I have a lot of performers who listen to me. And this is where your performance stops. You being who you are is the gift. You being who you are is what offers the spiritual healing to those around you, and to maybe in a global impact, because I am very blessed and fortunate to know a lot of really talented, creative people, performers. And you know what a gift and a blessing that is. When you give that performance, when you give that creative expression to the world and it reaches people and people are excited about it and celebrating it, and it makes a change in the way they think or the way they feel. That's healing. That is beautiful. However, you can't perform with the divine. Let's see where this reading's going to go. I want to pull a little bit of cards around the idea of what we just kind of left in the year of the snake before we start really getting into what is coming up for us in this beautiful, powerful year of the horse. Okay, so what were we really leaving behind? What is our overall lesson, theme? What can we really take away from the year of the snake? Right off the bat, some really beautiful, beautiful cards here. So I think what's really interesting about, I don't want to say chaotic or necessarily negative times in our life, but, yeah. What I always say is that the universe shakes us to wake us. It shows us where the foundations are cracked. It shows us where things are broken and needing fixing. And that can often feel quote unquote messy if you are not me, who is just like a very rambunctious and like real ass person. Like, I don't know. Am I messy? Perhaps I am messy because I say how I feel. I am who I am. I sit however I want to sit. Like, you know what I mean? But I think there gets to be a point when you allow yourself to just be who you are enough that messiness starts to be colorful and creative and inspiring. So yes, amongst all of the shedding, there was a lot of blessings. There was a lot of beautiful achievements, blessings. Maybe you have to look extra hard for them, but they were there. And amongst all of that trial and tribulation along with it, you were discovering what stability really means for you. Anchors might be significant. Red brick might be significant. And through this, you were tapping into a lot of resilience. I'm wearing I always wear this same freaking jacket every time that I like pull cards, and there's like this button that just won't like quiet. Oh my goodness, it's just rattling and rattling away. But you know what? I'm gonna let that be the little rattlesnake tail. That's just like waving goodbye and like farewell for now. I've done what I've needed to do, and I've taught you what I've needed to teach you. Okay, let's see if that helps a little bit. So, yeah, Interesting. Okay, so not only was all of this creating stability for you, this might have been like sort of a rebuilding. If you had a tower moment, the tower card in the tarot might be significant. It might be like you were seeing where your own foundation was cracked, things that you needed to work on and improve within yourself to feel more stable in your day-to-day life. This may have had a lot to do with emotional stability, but as we know here, collective, it's a holistic world we're living in. Mind, body, spirit, all things are connected. And when one thing's out of balance, naturally the others become out of balance too. So this emotional stability might have also created physical stability, financial stability, security within who you are and yourself, which I feel like is definitely very real for us. But it also showed you how to be resilient, to be able to bloom in the harshest conditions. Succulents might be significant. Lotus flowers might also be significant. Flowers in general might be significant. I see that there was a lot of lower energy center work being done. I'm talking solar plexus, sacral, and root center in specific. Solar plexus is one of those really important energy centers to work on as sensitive people, as creatives, because this is your core. This is your identity. Often as creative people, we might just be more inclined to work with the sacral center. It's a very passionate, inspired, creator center. However, without that solar plexus center really pulsating and vibrating at its most optimal, it's like not the word anybody would use for like an energy center, but you know what I'm saying. Like, that is what fuels your passion. That is what fuels your creator energy. And truly, this could be seen as a very all right, so let me break it down a little bit for you. Let me slow down, because this message is 12 might be significant. I'm feeling very like connected to this message, and I want to make sure that I'm not just rambling it and breaking it down in a way that isn't best explained. So let's take a moment. Let's take a deep breath. I invite you to join me. Right now, I'm sitting at a tiny airport in my area. I highly doubt we'll hear any planes go by, because I feel like maybe one plane per year lands here. But that airport energy, that movement energy, that excitement of like what's about to happen, where am I about to land, where am I about to take off to, plane, just that feeling. I don't know if y'all are like me, because I am in true Sagittarius form today. I literally just finished my passport application appointment, took my little passport photo and ate it up, girl. And yes, I am feeling like that was my statement for this eclipse. Like, let's get the passport ready to go, because this is going to be a year of movement, not in just travel and transportation, but a year of movement in closer to these things that have been bubbling to life, closer to the people around me, closer to my individuality and my expression, closer to nature and life and the essence of it all. This is bringing you closer. This year is bringing you, it's bridging that gap and bringing you much closer to the things that you have been absolutely relentless and resilient upon. Let me tell you, the year of the snake may have been very much easier for us to tap into this energy of like, it ain't nothing to cut that bitch off. You know what I'm saying? Like, cut them off, toxic, let it go. But what you are left with after this year is really worth fighting for. It is worth holding on to, because it was resilient enough to stand the test of time, to stand the harshest of conditions, to understand or to withstand the temperamental climates that it was put through, and yet it flourished, yet it bloomed, yet it still exists, yet it still has life to it. This past year was really putting you into harmony with yourself and your place in the world. This does obviously involve connections, but this past year was more about the self. It's here in the cards. For us collective, it was a year of understanding the self, who you are. So back to this solar plexus energy. This was a metamorphosis of sorts, and you might still be kind of stepping into what the last year left you with. Yes, self-love. There might have been some father wounds that were worked through, that were being healed. Aries might be significant. You felt like at one point life was a maze, life felt like a labyrinth. And now you're just really in a place of flow. So we've got a lot of elements showing up here for us, which is interesting. And a lot of fire signs. So we have Aries that came out twice and Leo that came out twice. Yeah, there was some cord cuttings that had to happen. There was karmic relationships that needed to take place and did take place. I'm seeing karmic masculine relationships. Relationships with men, maybe people who've been in your life long term. You had some karmic patterns or things play out. Or even just not random, but like new men showing up in your life to teach you powerful and important things. This might have been people in your household or around your home, but more specifically, these are people who were really they showed you something about your life in one way or another. Yeah, father wounds. I feel like there was definitely some healing around father wounds and fatherly energy that was healed a lot through the past year. And yeah, so I'm really seeing that the biggest takeaway that... Okay, one more thing. I do feel like the fire signs in your life are very much... They were like preparing you for something or helping you tap into your power, or something about their resilience or the way that you connect with them is really a huge contribution to the year of the snake for you as well. This seems like connections with fire sign people. And this also seems like fire transits. So, like the solar eclipse, the fire sign season, Sagittarius season, Leo season, Aries season, these were all going to be powerful times for you in the last year to pretty much put you on the path to aligning with the year of the fire horse. So it might be worthwhile to go back and look at Aries season, Leo season, and Sagittarius season of the last year to kind of just reflect on what were the themes, what was showing up, what was happening for you during that time. There was probably some really powerful lessons being learned. There was a lot of heart space healing. There was a lot of things that you needed to kind of understand about yourself and your heart, the way that you love, the way that you connect. I'm seeing that there was probably some like lusty stuff that existed for you in the past, and I feel like that was also something that was brought up to your forefront of your awareness. Butterflies might be significant. The intuition definitely was heightened for us collective, more so in the last couple of months than anything. And that's going to continue to happen. We'll talk about the year of the horse here in just a second. Because really what I want you to land with is that this last year made you very resilient. You are able to tap into your intuition. You trust your intuition. You also recognize red flags and how things might come back to bite you later. You might be able to really be in prayer and ask for things that you need. Ask and you shall receive, honey. And yeah, stability and home life were definitely major themes, significant themes. And you're now seeing how your direct role in it matters. You managing your emotions, or you just being more stable in your emotions, is probably showing up for you throughout your home environment in some way or somehow. There's a lot of emphasis here, brick by brick. So if you're still working on this, yeah, right here, you need a good fucking cry. Get your ugly cry on. Let that shit go. Your soul will thank you. So if you are like grieving as we move into this energy, which I don't feel like a lot of you are. I feel like a lot of you are just like, I'm fucking ready. Like, whether you even realize that this was going to happen, or you're just noticing the subtle shift in energy. Last night, I was literally like, I want to clean everything. Like, I just had this crazy, like, urge and desire wash over me to clean every fucking crevice of my house. Did it happen? Hells no. But I'm finding ways to honor this energy and honor this eclipse, honor what's happening metaphysically for me in my own way, and the cleaning will get done. Because my place is like never really actually a mess anyway. Most things that I have that are considered mess is just like clothes that I decided not to wear that like just need to get hung back up again. Note to self, hang my clothes. So yeah, if you for some reason are feeling a little bit stuck, if you're feeling like you're still shedding that skin, if you feel like you are not tapping into this fire horse energy, cry. Feel the feels. Let the feelings out. Confide in someone. Seek some mental health support. 222 might be significant. Stop obsessing. Okay? You are not the center of the fucking universe. Okay? So whatever it is that you were just really emotionally hung up on in the last year, you might have really had to go through a let go of that bullshit boot camp, honey, okay? And you had to learn how to let go, how to master the art of detachment. There might have been like some third-party influences that kind of had to do with some of this, but regardless, like that was really the drill for the last year for you. It was like learning how to let go and understanding that that doesn't mean that you're saying goodbye to something. It just means that you're releasing the grip that you have on the thing. Okay, so a few more cards before we shift into Year of the Horse. I don't want this to get crazy long. You are loved. You are here for a reason. Don't fuck it up. Okay, so just so you know, these are the Rebel Oracle cards because I love to cuss, and they speak to my soul. So, you know, you are realizing that even though, you know, you had to say goodbye to things, you had to let things go, there might have been some toxic energy, you might have had a lot of emotional, like, cathartic releases happen. You're seeing very clearly now, or you will be seeing, who the fuck was there with you, and you are loved. These people are going to light a fire in your life in this upcoming year. I know we're starting to get into the horse energy now, so let's move it on. Let's move it along. Ooh, that might be a song that you need to like jam out for like some soul healing. We move along, along. That is All American Rejects for those of you who didn't have a punk phase. Okay. So now we're going to feel into the year of the horse. What are the first lessons and things we need to know about the energy that we're moving into, the space that we're moving into, just the overall year that we're moving into collective. Okay, so let's get these cards going. Oop, they're slipping and sliding. I invite you to take a sip of water, which I'm about to do as soon as I shuffle these cards. Ooh, did you just hear my stomach gurgle? My stomach was like, yes, water. I need that. Literally. So, make sure you're taking care of your body, sweet love. If there's anything I can tell you about those lower energy centers, is that they need to be loved and tended to on a physical level, okay? So nourish your body, know what nutrients you're getting. Go to the doctors, honey. Get your checkups. Utilize that Western medicine. Okay. So right off the bat, we have hope here, which is like the best. Like, what else could you ask for when it comes to this upcoming year? Okay, we have a little bit of forewarning. We'll talk about that in a second. Pardon me, friends. I need to have a sip of water before we go on. Feeling like throat healing might be significant. Okay, so this is beautiful. We have 6 cards that wanted to come out. And this, to me, is very much passion, abundance, flourishing, thriving, honey, creator, energy, spicy, zesty, playful, and fun. We have hope. Rainbows might be significant. Oop, right here. Oop, oop, oop. These cards are saucy. I love that I'm alone right now, because if somebody heard me, they'd be like, is she okay? Oop, we got one that did a little backflip. So let me see. More cards. Letters K, C, R, E, B, and V might be significant. Tell the universe exactly what you want. Yep. Ooh, okay. So, right off the bat, my friends, we have a very powerful, beautiful reading. I'm feeling a really big energy of 6. If somebody who is also into numerology can tell me how that makes sense with anything that's going on right now, that would be lovely. I do see there is a need for caution about how and where you use your energy, where it's going, how it's being used, what energy you're giving off, what energy you're allowing from others, what energy is happening. It's all about energy in this reading, in this year, to be honest. You didn't have your intuition heightened for you to sit back and ignore the fucking power lines in your life. Power lines are symbolic. This is a very visual interpretation of how we are all connected energetically, like in a grid system. And you can look into all of this, like the net theory is very fascinating to look into. But science shows us that we are all vibing out here energetically. And this is the year that you need to mind your energy to a T. What does that mean exactly? I'm not sure yet. We can pull some cards on that. But I do see that you're going to have a lot of strength. I see that your third eye and your heart space are very much in sync. And, oh, I like that. Oh, Venus. I like that too. Yeah, how you use your energy and what you use your energy on is going to make all the difference in this year, okay? If you have things that are repressed right now, it's time to find new ways to use your energy and to work through things, okay? This might come through the energy of trust, and understanding that you're needed, and understanding what's worth the risk. Okay, and I want to just say, like, don't let stupid bullshit, I'm going to tell you this real quick, because this feels really important, that spirit is bringing up something so 3D and so, like basic, but don't let your distorted version of reality or somebody else's loss of truth or distorted reality stir the pot. This might show up with text messages. Don't let anything like this fucking throw you off your path. Don't give it any energy. I'm telling you this right now. You might get a text message for somebody. Somebody might text you. You might want to text somebody, or somebody, something with text message. Whatever it is, don't even bother. Don't even give it energy. This shit is for the birds. Somebody's just trying to stir the pot. It's a distorted version of reality. It's someone who clearly isn't getting readings from your girl. And it's not worth your energy. Okay, because right here, I see guardian angels, lost loved ones watches over you. I see family reunion, the family tree, ancestry. I see the infinity sign, infinite potential. I see palm, the destiny, a hand of God. We have some really beautiful faded cards here. Beautiful high vibration, like I would say the most high vibrational cards that I have in my deck are here, which is really powerful because I think that this really speaks to what the purpose of this year is. It's to align you back to your purpose. 37 is significant. It's putting you back onto your beautiful, beautiful journey, whether you think of it as a labyrinth or a spiral or as an infinity loop or just as a fucking blob. You are here to show up. Last year was like a fucking pardon my français. It was like you had like an album you wrote and then you had it stripped down. It was like the stripped down version, and you got back to the basics. You got back to like the truth of it all, to who you are. And now you're like ready for your fucking comeback tour. That's kind of how I feel about it. I see that this is a year that you're going to be really tapped into your unlimited potential. You're going to have a lot of support around this. This might come from your spirit team or the divine. It could also come in the form of family or extended family, whoever you consider your family. I actually today just got a picture printed out from my best friend's baby's first birthday party, and we're all in the picture smiling. So that's my family right there. And you're gonna have a lot of support, and this is where your root, this is where that needing to reroot into the soil and create that stability in the last year is going to really come into play. This is going to push you further than you could ever imagine. This is, as much as I'm seeing follow the signs, feel into it. Yes, baby. Yes, honey. Oop. Money, honey. 111 might be significant. Yeah. So this is all about fire. Okay, yes. We might see some things with our mother wound show up throughout this year. I mean, we can't go a whole year without having to face a little bit of the internal stuff, honey, right? Nah. It couldn't be a full adventurous year without some of that. So, this might be some of the repressed stuff that you're trying to work through. And it makes sense because we have a lot of like feel into it, trusting the divine, praying and speaking intuitively, following in your intuition, and all these things. It's very feminine energy, and so it's not a surprise to me that there might be some things that are shown to us through that we need to heal so we can really be in that space fully and embodied. So yeah, I see that you're realizing what is so important to you and where your potential and your power is. It's feeling needed. It's feeling like you can really support and give others what they need because you were able to do so much of that for yourself in the last year. I see that it's going to be more about the we know this, quality over quantity of your relationships. How much are you able to really feel into it and maybe have more conversations with the people that you have in your life, right? We talked about those who kind of withstood the test of time and bloomed in the harshest of environments. These are the people. Have more conversations with these people. Lean on these people. Right now, your intuition is your guiding force and your guiding light. Why? Because you are directly communicating with your guardian angels, your ancestors, your spirit team, and the divine. You are directly communicating. Whether you're listening is another thing. Whether you're paying attention is another conversation. But you are absolutely being guided at this point from this reading. It's like so explicitly clear. We have the hands in prayer, and we also have the eagle symbolism that came out, which is the highest flying bird, and in native culture it is said to be the bird that symbolizes your prayers being answered. It also, I've seen a bunch of eagles around here lately, which is so beautiful. My mom works to help them, she works with basically the Lord help me. She works to help conserve areas that are populated with eagles, and this is their time right now. They're out and they're flirty and they're flourishing. You're probably more likely to see them around this time if you're in this area. But anyway, they represent love, the highest of love, like divine love. And I'm sirens. Interesting. I'm seeing here that we could have some healing around these areas as well. Pray for healing. Pray for whatever it is that does show up for you. Pray for whatever wounds might show up for you. I feel the reading leaving. So let's wrap this up, friends. We are very much going to be surrounded by so much love and support through mind, body, and through spirit. And if you follow the science, if you follow your intuition, if you are focused on your energy, right? Because where attention goes, energy flows. This is a scientific statement. It's not like a cute little trendy quote, but it's a scientific statement as well. Where attention goes, energy flows. Have you ever had this experience where like you feel like you have eyes on the back of your head and you like turn around and someone's looking at you? Yeah, that's because where attention goes, energy flows. And more importantly, where you're thinking, the thoughts that you're having create the type of emotion that you are feeling, and that emotion creates the energy that is put out and felt in the back of my fucking head. So the reason I say this is because if you have not been really accepting the true depth of what an energetic world this is, it's time to do this now. You will be able to open doors. You'll be able to feel your way through life. You'll be able to be divinely guided. You're going to tap into, there's 2 infinity symbols here on 2 separate cards, bro. Like, this is like so beautiful. You're going to really figure some shit out for yourself. I even see that this might have a lot to do with a powerful, committed relationship, a highly passionate sexual relationship. Y'all might be still kind of, I don't know, I feel like that sexiness to y'all, it's like you guys are always kind of exploring that and diving into that, and it's flirty and it's saucy, and I kind of feel like the Year of the Horse is gonna be even more of that for you if that's your vibe. But if it's not your vibe, you could be just truly figuring more things out by understanding how energy works and intuition works. And honestly, y'all, you would be surprised how much this information will also heighten your sexuality, okay? Give it a good Google search, okay? Think about how committed you are to certain areas of your life, and having that commitment and expressing that commitment is really going to heighten the power of all your things, because that the energy of commitment will ripple outwards, right? Like we said, holistic, mind, body, spirit, all areas of our life are much like this, where they're all going to be impacted depending on your energy or the balance that you have or how much you give to it. If you're giving a specific area to your life a lot of devotion and commitment, you're strengthening your ability to commit to things. It doesn't necessarily have to be a relationship, although I do see a lot of relationship, love, Venus, all that stuff in the cards. But more specifically, like, you could commit to a health goal. You could commit to a thing that you're doing to help with your friend. You know, whatever it is, that energy of committing and learning to build the muscle of being committed to something and recognizing the severity of something, knowing when something is serious, knowing when something needs you, knowing when something is really part of your infinite potential, knows, you know, all these things, like that energy that you give to that will ripple outwards. Doors will open. I see you putting yourself at a distance from, let me find out really quick. Oh, interesting. You might end up moving homes with, I'm not even going to say with, you just might end up moving homes. Not necessarily right at this moment, but I just see you putting a distance between yourself and something. This something or other looks like gossip, people whispering, somebody doing something behind your back, gold digging, being used, the energy of gluttony, and I'm going to be quite frank with you, just sinful. It just feels like some nastiness. So you might be moving away from those things, either physically or emotionally. You're moving away from those things in this year. I see that this is going to be really powerful for your heart and really powerful for all the things involved with the heart. So for the heart center, that's authenticity, that's connection, that's just this beautiful ability to be with somebody on a heart level, to come from the heart, to say things with integrity and authenticity and intention. And to be heart-led is to be authentically guided in your life, right? And then we move down to the solar plexus, which is all about individuality and expression and energy and health. So those two working together, having a really beautiful, healthy heart space that's not tainted, not repressing, not closed off, not getting temptation from whatever things it might be. That heart space growing also puts you in the energy of abundance, and that puts you in a place of, again, in your heart-led, you're going to be heart-led to the things that are really enriching to your energy, to your soul, to your purpose. It all works together. It's a lot of heart space. Something is about to be back together, okay? You're putting some heart pieces back together where they belong. This has a lot to do with your ability to move yourself either physically or emotionally away from things that are low vibe. Just let's call it that. I know sinful has like a negative connotation, but truly it's like the 7 deadly sins. I'm seeing glutton, I'm seeing lust, I'm seeing all that shit. Like, you are just moving yourself away from these types of indulgences and things that, you know, maybe were fun and not really all that harmful to you at one point in your life. But this is the year of the fire horse, baby, and it is trying to move you into this position of really your purpose. And we'll dive into more of that in another reading. For now, I want to just leave you with, it is time to protect your energy and to pray when you don't know what things to give energy to, or where you feel like your energy might be misguided, or where you feel like you're needing healing or whatever. Pray on it. Tell the universe exactly what you want. This is a year of, I'm talking instant manifestations. Okay, because you've been doing the work, you've been going through the portals, you have been connecting to yourself, connecting to your intuition. You're in the flow, baby. You're in it. You are working from this creator space, and things are going to start manifesting a lot more rapidly than they might have in the last year, even though y'all probably were manifesting some great shit last year as well. So if you can believe it, it is safe to expect even more divine blessings, okay? I'm seeing a lot of family energy here, family expansion. I'm seeing, you know, maybe your cousin gets engaged. Maybe your brother is having a second child. Maybe you are shopping for wedding rings. Whatever it is, I'm seeing growth. I'm seeing expansion, but it's from a very heart-led space. That doesn't mean you're not going to get your abundance. That doesn't mean you're going to, you know, not take the trip to the islands or whatever it is. This heart-led expansion, you committing to your energy and knowing what you deserve, committing to showing up for those who showed up for you, committing to your path, committing to your purpose. This was all really destined to bring you to this point where you are right here and right now. That heart space coming from that vibration, coming from that energy, is going to open the doors that you could have never anticipated. And this includes financially, because I know y'all are wondering, who isn't? All right. Okay. A few more cards before we say our parting words. I know this is getting long, but baby, we were trying to wrap up a lot in this reading. Okay. So what is this? Yeah. What the hell are you waiting for? If you're waiting for a sign, well, here it fucking is. Get the fuck out of your head. Get in your heart. It misses you. Okay? So, whatever heart space here, something that in the past that messed with your heart space, this could be repressed stuff. This could have to do with mother wounds. This could be cycles. Whatever it is, it's time to just say, it's time to heal. It's time to heal it. I gotta feel it to heal it. Get the fuck out of your head. However you need to do that, do that. Ooh! Another one. Get out of your head. It fell down between the seats. It's dark and you can't see a fucking thing. Get out of your head and get your head out of your ass pronto. So I'm seeing a lot of head to heart energy. And if I have not already shared the head to heart space meditation, it's definitely time for me to do that. So I will do that. Oh, and this card wants to sneak out. Have you eaten? You're acting like a big ass baby. See, I told you. It's time to really take care of your... I got it super close. Hey, how's it going? How we doing? Picking up some cards down here. Okay. Take care of your body. That was a huge lesson for the past year, was like, you know, it brought us into those lower energy centers. It brought us into what our bodies need so that we can, sustain life, so that we can exist and do and be and physically handle what we have to in order to be purpose, heart-led, spiritually in tune people, right? There was a lot of misconception around like, oh, well, if you're a spiritual person, you shouldn't really care about money. I don't know who the fuck, but I am not on board with that, okay? You need to have a roof over your head. You need to have food in your fridge, okay? You need to have security, okay, in order to be regulated enough to help anyone, or to at least make sense out of what the fuck is going on for you spiritually or emotionally. And that leads me to the final one. Ask a fucking expert. Don't rely on your friends or the internet. Listen to a damn professional. I'd like to think that I am your friend. I am also the internet, and I'm a professional. So there you go, one and done. But truly, if you are not getting help for the things in your life that you need help with, go do that, okay? Sometimes we rely so much on the people around us, and it's really just not fair, because they aren't then able to show up as the loving, caring people in your life that they're supposed to be able to. And it's not to say that they shouldn't be there for you, because they absolutely should. And remember, that should always be a two-way street, my darlings. Remember that you need support, like real support, shit that works, okay? So go, I already said this before, make the appointments, make the doctor's appointments. You have to take care of yourself on a physical level in order to really be able to understand your energy on a vibrational level. And let me tell you, that's what this whole upcoming year seems to really be about. So love yourself, practice a lot of self-care, a lot of self-love, love the fuck out of the people who are there showing up for you, withstanding the test of time, right? I'm seeing that this is where doors are about to open for you. There's gonna be some shifts, there's gonna be some changes, and it seems like you're moving very much closer to what your soul feels called to. That's the most important thing. You're not doing things to please others, you're not listening to the crowd, you're not following trends, you're not just trying to fit in. Right now, the year of the horse is about to show you that if you don't follow what your soul is asking of you, it doesn't matter if you have the boxes checked. It doesn't matter if you have the money in the bank account. What matters is that you feel like you have a purpose, like you're here for a reason, like it's important for you to be connected to life and yourself and source and those around you. When we don't have that, when we aren't in tune with that, we really throw ourselves off for a loop. This is going to be the year that energy becomes super clear to you. If you haven't understood it, or if you haven't looked into it yet, now is the time. That life's going to teach it to you either way. So you might as well give yourself a little energetic vibration for dummies 101 refresher at the very least, because this is how divine union, yeah, this is how you stay in union with yourself, with your purpose, and with your person, honey. Okay, this year is all about energy. What energy are you bringing? Because let me tell you, if you're bringing some cruddy fucking energy around, and then frozen, interesting, expect to manifest anything from some crap caca doo-doo energy, you are gonna be just so annoyed and frustrated with the amount of loopholes and extra lifting work and all that you have to do, because you're clearly manifesting from another place other than from what your heart is called to, where your soul is called to, where you feel purposeful towards. So, my loves, I'm having trouble here with this bag for whatever reason from my cards. But I'm going to leave it at that. I'm sending you lots of loving, and I will talk to you very soon.